So I was gonna say like till I was like 20, I kept on feeding the mind, right? And then after a certain point, I had realizations. I started relearning the truths. But after that certain point, you have to make a conscious effort to keep on unlearning what you have learned, right? Like the conditionings. Like I have to get good grades, or I have to look this way, I have to look pretty. You have to unlearn them. You can't, like, once you have a realization, like habits sometimes stay, like you subconsciously are doing them. So like setting intentions, what do you feel about like consciously setting intentions? Like, oh, I'm going to make an effort to like consciously pick things that I want, like something like that, like setting intentions, like, oh, I will make an intention to be on time today.
Okay. Yeah, certainly intention, definitely. But see, I try not to tell myself I need to put effort.
Why?
Because when you put effort, it's not. You have to kind of force yourself to do it. I should be wanting to do it.
Okay. So, but there's again, we talked about like when you start feeling discomfort, that's when actual healing is happening, is taking place. Is that
discomfort? Discomfort usually leads to.
Okay, this is a new challenge.
Right.
Okay.
So new challenge. If we are aware, right? Now I'm facing a new challenge, right? But it's not comfortable, right? Challenge shouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
But challenge can be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's when you change your perspective. So what is that? Say what kind of challenge? Give me an example.
Okay, like for example, just
to be on time.
time, punctuality, right? It wasn't like, yes, of course I want to do it, but then when I know like, oh, I'm gonna be late, I started feeling anxious and guilt and all those like shame.
Okay, so what do you think you can do with that?
That's when I put in the effort, conscious. That's when I'm okay. That makes sense. Like now I can connect. Like that's where I bring in intention. Like I'm going to set an, like I'm going to consciously put an effort to like sit with this.
Well, you just leave early, basically. You know, then you can avoid all the anxiety, right? Because I when I was doing business, sometimes that happens, and I feel very pressured, right? So today, let's say I'm late, and I know that person will not be happy.
Yeah.
If there's nothing I can do, then I'm not going to have anxiety. I'm going to say, all right, this happened, right? And I will tell that person sincerely that I promise this will not happen again. I know I maybe said that, but this happened again, but I will do my best next time. I promise. And then save all the anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. So on that train of thought, even if we are like, for example, if I leave late anyways, I do that like while like I'm being late, so you would say like it's better to just accept it and like understand that okay, I won't do this again.
Right. Because you can't do anything at that point, right? In the train, right? So see, this is a different talk. But anxiety is not necessary, right? If you can do something to change it, then you do. But when you cannot do anything, then you accept it. But that's not the end of the world, right? You see, you have to trust the other person. You can say, oh, maybe that person will never forgive me, but that's in your mind, right? If you sincerely, right, explain and apologize, you should be forgiven. See, people are, right? They're not machines.
Okay.
Right? And if that person really doesn't, then you accept it.
And you have to self-forgiveness.
Always. Yeah. But it's not like, oh, it's okay. It's not like that. And say, that happened. I did not do too well, but I wanted to do better, but the person did not give me another chance. I accept it. And if I were that person, I would write another text message or email and say, I just want to know if you can give me another chance. See, that is effort, but without anxiety.
Okay. Yeah. So you'd say we make an, like, when do you say that we make an effort for things?
It's really like I try not to put much effort into anything because that means I'm not there yet. I'm putting myself into something I'm not ready yet, right? Yeah. So, but of course, let's say if I'm going like taking a tour, right? And we have to get, how to say, in the morning we get together at 8 o'clock. Of course, I'm gonna put effort to be there on time because I don't want all the people to wait for me. So you can say those kind of things. that you have obligation, right? To kind of like, let's say if I'm doing a speech or a workshop, I have to be on time,
Yeah.
right? So then you put effort. But it's more like it's not a mental, it's a, how to say, technique. It's just a
Commitment.
It's just, what's the word? Being on time, right? That we need to put effort. Everyone should,
Yeah.
right? Because then otherwise you're just wasting people's time, energy, right? It's not good because you constantly put yourself in that kind of situation and you will feel guilty. You will feel right. It's like you're creating something to make you feel not good.
It's like a self-punishment almost.
Why you keep putting yourself in that kind of situation?
Yeah.
You can avoid,
Yeah.
right? So those kind of situations we put effort. So let's say work like this kind of a spiritual work. It's effort, but it's like I'm so excited doing this. So it's effortless.
And when we are encountering it, so you would say when we're like excited and like it's coming from
The higher self.
yeah, and that's when we know that
You're on the right path. So when you're on the right path, everything becomes effortless.
yeah, like you don't have to like force yourself into it.
No.
Yeah, guilt trip yourself into
No.
it.
Because you're not going to do well. Right? Let's say you make mistakes. You are still excited. You said, okay, now I know this is not the right way. Right? Now I know the right way. See, everything become exciting.
Would you say that if that's the case, then there would be no space for fear to come in?
No. Correct. That's a very good conclusion.
Yeah.
Because you're so excited when you're, let's say you're going to a Disney World, right? You're excited, right? And the ride is kind of scary,
Yeah.
but you are so excited you don't feel, you don't think about it. The fear cannot come in. That's the good way to, in a way, excitement is our protection.
Okay. Like you know this is right for me.
Because the entire universe is telling you you're on the right path. Otherwise you wouldn't feel excited. And if you keep feeling this excitement, that means that. You see, Disney World lasts one day, right? The next day you're not excited. But if you're doing something and every day you feel excited, this is so clear that you are on the right path. That's how I feel now. Like, of course, the excitement doesn't have to be on the face. It's not like, oh, you're smiling all the time. But you just, what's the feeling? Oh, life is wonderful.
Then, what do you think about people who are not ready to accept the truth? This is the truth, but they don't feel excited about it.
And
they don't want to.
you are excited anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you cannot even hide, right? And when they see that, you don't have to keep convincing anyone, right? Because if you're excited, you wouldn't do that anyway, right? You just keep talking about it, you're so excited. And they can sense that. They feel your true joy. They really want to know what made you feel this way. What you have done to bring you to this level. So they really want to see that, to know the secret. See? So you are changing them without changing them.
Okay. So even people who are not yet ready to be on the spiritual path would
You are the example.
Yeah.
Every time they meet with you, they feel like, wow, I want to live like that. But you cannot pretend. That has to be you. Right? So it's never changing other people. It's always to change yourself first. Not change, is to grow, right? And to really understand, to have a deeper understanding of the connections of everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you become that person, and this person, in a way, is so powerful. Like everywhere you go, people just feel like so attracted to this person because they are attracted to your energy.
What do you like? I wonder why Buddha didn't do that. Probably like when
Didn't do what?
Into that state, and then like why did he? It's a question we both have.
It's a different state.
Yeah.
It's right. Let's say I don't know so much what he did.
Okay.
Right, but it seems like he meditates.
Yeah. That's a given.
To reach to the enlightenment.
Yeah.
Right.
Enlightenment, yeah.
So I think it's to really get to that state, and then he can share. I think that's what he was trying to do. To share his knowing, his wisdom.
Yeah.
See. But let's say that's his let's say personality, right? Let's say me, I just know I like to do things. So that's why meditation doesn't, I cannot really talk so much about meditation. I don't do much. But it's it's okay. I don't have to feel guilty, right? I don't have to say, oh, if I want to be more spiritual, I need to do. I don't force myself.
Meditation is a state. Even when you're working, you're meditating.
When you're walking, meditate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a particular way.
See, that's right. The people's belief. They think, I do meditation. 3 hours a day. I just sit there. Doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. You can look at the sky in that state. Right. So state of being or state of doing, but not a state of thinking.
Okay.
See, don't be the thinker.
Yeah.
Be the doer or the, let's say, meditator. Right. So because taking action is very important.
Yeah.
Because we're here to experience. So if you don't take action, what kind of experience?
Then do you think it's important to be while you're also doing? Like, can you do that?
Correct. So when you don't even think about it. You're doing things. You're so focused, right? So you are in a meditative state.
That makes so much sense.
Right. Yeah. That's why you feel like good.
Yeah.
You can't be doing one thing and think about the next thing.
And what do you think about people who work machines in their 9 to 5? They're like doing the same thing, and
because there's no creation there, right?
Yeah.
So they're taking a task and finish, right? Oh, 1, 2. There are 5 steps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Similar. So what's the question?
The question is like, they can also reach a state where they're almost like on autopilot, just doing it.
I think the thing is, there's no excitement there.
Excitement, like
So if I know this is what I chose to do, and I don't have other options, and I'm not excited, right? But I don't want to feel miserable. What do?
You keep on doing that.
So you, in a way, hypnotize yourself. And say, I'm not gonna think about anything. I just keep doing it, right? I keep doing these 5 steps, right? I numb myself.
Like you numb yourself from feeling.
Correct. Very good. Because you don't want to feel. Because when you started feeling, it's like, oh, I'm not excited. I'm dying inside.
Yeah, you're aware of the fear.
So you have to kind of kill yourself.
Oh my God.
You suppress.
Yeah.
And that will make the soul very unhappy.
Would you call that a state of being?
No. State of being a zombie. So your soul is always there, right, with you, and the soul knows what you're doing. It's the body and the mind together decide to do this, not the soul's idea, right? But we talk about like why the soul does not get involved. Because you have to learn. If you feel so numb, so unhappy deep inside, then normally we should say, okay, I don't think this is for me. Yeah. I'm gonna look for other options, right? You see, that's what the soul is waiting for.
Make your own choices. You decide for yourself.
You know what you don't want.
Yeah.
It's like a dating someone, the wrong person.
Yeah.
The soul is not gonna say anything, but you feel this every time, right? You feel like, oh, we don't have much in common.
Yeah.
Or I just don't feel we have much that we can talk with each other, or this person is very impatient and his energy is all over the place. He's right. He cannot focus on one thing. Let's say I'm just making things up, and you're well. So normally, right, if that's how you feel, you say, this is not gonna work. Yeah. I'm gonna let the person know. Yeah. Okay, so the soul is waiting for that. But sometimes, because we're so caught up in the mind, and we say, but this person makes good money. This person has a good job. The person has a good family, right? The person is good looking. So maybe I can get used to it, right? Then you try, right? So now you have to put effort. See, effort is never that good, right? That means you know, I don't like to do this, but I'm forcing myself to get used to this kind of situation, right? Like we don't have much to talk about. Maybe it's okay with me. Maybe I don't have to talk, right? So you try, right? And then what? And sometimes, right? There's 2 possibilities. Let's say one is you eventually decide to marry this person. Said I invested so much time, energy. Yeah, I cannot afford to back out now. Yeah. Right? It's like investment, right? I need to get a return. Yeah.
I can't have all this loss.
Yeah. Or the other option is leave, right? But some people really chose option 1. Yeah. And then what? then you're gonna feel that every day, more or less. And so the soul is observing, doesn't say anything. But if you want to connect with yourself, then you know, right? Deep inside, the feeling is there's no joy, right? And then the soul, in a way, is hoping that you will change. You will say, okay, it's never too late. Now I'm making a decision. But if you don't, you can keep going, right? Because life is, right? This entire life is not real, so you can do it. And we have free will, right? We can do any way we want. So what happens? This person can keep suppressing, right, her feelings, and one day, person they're depressed or have blockage. The person cannot function.
They can't trust themselves
Because of the suppressed emotions,
Yeah.
their energies.
Yeah.
Energy will not disappear. It's gonna be stuck inside of this person's physical body. So then you're not gonna feel good. What is blockage?
Yeah.
It's those energy, because you suppress, and energy cannot do one thing. Energy can do so many things, but except one. What is that?
It can't destroy.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
What else?
I know it can transform, but there's another.
Cannot be held still.
Oh yeah,
Cannot be like stay one place.
Stay there.
So if you do that, what will happen? The energy will try to get out, but you're holding it and say no, don't go. But unconsciously you're holding it, right? And say because if you don't change, right? So then energy will hurt you.
Yeah, that's why the same things keep on happening, and it keeps getting worse until you decide to learn
To
change. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I have to do something about it because
Right.
it's clearly causing me so much harm.
Right. Always waiting for
Yeah.
that. So when you let's say when my clients come to my office, they're looking for changes.
Yeah.
See, and so who made them come to my office? Usually their higher selves or spirit guides, and then this is the start. If you don't feel good, right? The conclusion is if you don't feel good, change what? Change partner, change jobs, change what else? Change
your diet.
Not your parents.
Yeah.
You only can leave, but you cannot change your children. But you can get out.
Yeah.
So see, from our society, like leave your family is a bad thing. That's a belief.
Yeah.
It's not leave like you cut them off, right? It just you need to get out.
Yeah. It's like you're not living for your parents. You're not being an extension of them.
You don't belong to anyone.
Exactly.
And you don't own anyone. No one is yours.
Yeah.
Your child is not yours. Right. So it in a way it's very simple. Right? This whatever we talk about. But we never learned, we never really understand this deep. We kind of understand, but we don't know how it works. Mind, body, soul. Right? What's the relationship? Right? And the energy, emotions. What happened? Right? When we don't process the negative emotions.
Yeah. I think it's the lack of practice, like practicing. Listening to yourself, trusting yourself.
Right.
Like
so what is the best way to know what to do is to really learn who you are and why you're here. So the spirituality, the truth of the universe. We need to know that.
Okay, and then what do you think would guide us to
the book Conversations with God?
Okay.
Let's say.
Okay.
Yeah. He's right. He's the creator. He's with us. He's having his experience through us. So he's right. Whatever he says is the truth. It's not a belief. It's the truth. So the truth, we need to see it, and we need to really understand and say, now I understand the truth. I'm using the truth to apply instead of using the thoughts from the mind to apply.
Do you think we'll see the truth if we start believing in it?
Say one more time.
Do you think we'll see the truth if we start believing in it, or we'll see it anyways?
You practice. You use your life experience. You can say, I'm not sure about this, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use this theory, right, to apply in my life and see how I feel.
Okay.
because right, you shouldn't just follow. Nobody
Yeah.
should just follow,
Yeah.
right? You should like, if I feel, oh, this makes sense. So for example, my personal practice, right, is patience. I'm not a person, right, with a lot of patience, and I tried for years, right? I told myself I need to understand people more, right, because everyone is different.
Yeah.
Right? They're not like me. I'm not like them. But it did not work well. It's just when people are not following my thoughts or my understanding, and I get frustrated. So this is almost the biggest challenge in my life, and I said I don't know if I can ever change, right? But now, okay, I'm getting so much better. But what happened? What made me change is the deeper understanding of who we are. When you truly understand why we're here, we came here, right, to experience, to grow, and to evolve. And when someone is not on the same page with me, right? So the frustration, and still comes out, but it's better than before. Is you feel like, oh, I understand. I understand why that person feels that way, because I have been there before.
Try to put you also try to.
So you just know, and you don't have to try. See, no trying. You just like when a person saying something, I feel like, oh, it's not like that. No. But I feel like, yeah, but I was like that. So see, you have a deeper understanding of the connection of who you are, because we're growing. So we need that, like made a lot of mistakes, and then try to be better and go through things that I feel like, oh, I'm still not changing much, right? Maybe I can never change, but it's not true. You change every day, every moment, and get to a point you understand. Oh, other people must change. They're they're still on the way to learn something, right? And you can see so well, like you feel like, I get it. This person is in pain. That's why the person is talking, right? This type of thing, and right, without knowing, like, oh, nobody really did anything to them, right? Everything happened for them, right? You just understand that, and when you understand, you cannot get frustrated.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. It's similar. I always like consciously remind myself that like where people are coming from to understand that. So I feel like there's deeper understanding comes when you just let the person be and understand that, okay, maybe they're not ready for this change yet, or maybe in this lifetime they might never change, and you accept that, and you accept them, and you also like accept,
and you believe that one day they will. They will understand so well, right? And you give them this belief that I know that you will get there one day.
Oh, okay.
So that will, right? Because they feel everything you said.
That's shifting your perspective, not putting
not
limiting
it's
beliefs.
like because you can't pull someone. Right? You don't drag someone, and you say, I know one day you're gonna understand this so well. Maybe you can teach me.
That's honestly, that makes me feel so like happy to know that I can look at people that way.
Yes, of course.